Hey YouTube, coming at you with a battle from Namikari, who is using cradily, LURANTIS, blastoise, and in their write-up they say the underrated hero of the battle is LURANTIS. She can carry the team whenever needed, and sometimes she can even fight against fire type and flying type Pokemon. It's incredible. For those of you who've never used, two of the three Pokemon extremely meta: cradily, blastoise, bulky, spammy, enough coverage. I think those two are great Pokemon. LURANTIS, if you've never used LURANTIS, I've used it multiple times before. And every time I use it, I'm just like, this Pokemon is great. You have Fury Cutter, which is now a buffed move from a couple seasons ago. You have a Leaf Blade, which is a really nice hard-hitting grass move with you get same type attack bonus coming at you in 9998. And then you have where grass may be resisted on like steel, you have the superpower coming at you at 10s. And those moves I'm just looking at behind the scenes here. Leaf Blade is an 84 damage move. So 35 energy, 84 damage, 2.4 damage per energy. With the Fury Cutter doing a decent 3 damage with the fast charging, right? So between that and the superpower, it's a very strong Pokemon. Obviously, there's a ton of ground in this meta, so being able to just like spam Leaf Blades is fantastic. Unfortunately, in the meta, you are also seeing a crap ton of flyers. And while you can land superpower on some of these flyers that are that can take superpower, like Corviknight, which is half steel, otherwise you're in pretty big trouble with all the flying. And I think flyers have upticked, not even just upticked. They're a lot more this season than there have been in the past. So it makes it a little tricky to run this Pokemon. You don't need to worry about the fire weakness because you have Blastoise and Cradili's half rock, so that neutralizes that weakness. So let's take a look to see at the battles. You could probably stay in Cradily with most matchups. Maybe swapping in Blastoise depending on what you see. Fighters can be a bit tough because Rowlet is resisted as well. They get to the first move, Pidgeot here, spamming pretty fast. It is the, I'm guessing, Air Cutter. And go one and throw, and they do catch on the Marowak. So I'd be coming LURANTIS here. Yeah, so I would make that quick. I would make that a bit quicker just because LURANTIS is a pure grass, which will resist the ground as opposed to Cradily, which is half rock, so it is actually taking neutral. But as you're seeing here, the spam is very real. Here comes the first grass knot. This will take out. So do take that out. Pidgeot comes back in, and can we get to superpower? We can, and this will be just good chip. You know, it's a Shadow Pidgeot, so it may even take out, but if not, it's going to be a couple HP left. And that's fine. Now you have a rollout user in Blastoise you can just come in with instead of Cradily. Yeah, and that's exactly where I would go too. And it is a Scizor. That was just Night Slash, so I think you need to count there, and I think this is probably where, I don't know if you win or lost this one, but that seems like a way to lose. It only takes 12 to get to a Hydro Cannon. It takes 14 to get to the Trailblaze. So the fact that you were just getting to your Hydro when you had a energy advantage means that it's just a Night Slash. You got to take that Night Slash, especially when Bullet Punch is resisted by water. You do grab a second shield and do live a move, so Cradily will take that out and will be able to, I was going to say acid down, but they do throw a move, but that's fine because now they're just dumping all their energy, and you will roll it down for the win despite the Air Cutter seeming to boost their attack there. Cradily into Magargo. Kind of evenish. Incinerates are neutral. Acid is resisted, but you do have a super effective Rock Tomb that you will get to first because that's 14 versus 15 in terms of the fast move. So grabbing a shield, lowering its attack. I think you just let this go. It's probably going to be a Rock Tomb. I think you will outpace to the next one. No, it's going to be 25 versus 26. But opting to shield. I don't know about the shield. Oh, and I definitely don't know about the fast moves. Okay, so they got to a charge move before you got to your move. So now you've been hit with 2 Rock Tombs, which lowers your attack by 2. You also have a Blastoise in the back, and you have LURANTIS that you probably want to save shields for. So I don't like shielding this one where you're now I know you have a super effective move, but it's now 2 times lower, so it probably does not even take out. Your acid is resisted, and now you're giving up switch, which they're probably going to have an answer for water. Like they should have an answer for water in the back if they are a fire ground, because they are double weak to water. So they do Rock Tomb you. Not surprisingly, there is the Ferrothorn. So just going Skull Bash, all moves are resisted, just boosting your defense. I would just go Hydro to try and chip. We do get to the Hydro. The problem is, well, Fury Cutter is actually, I think, neutral because super effective on the grass, but resisted. I think it's just single resisted on the steel. So Fury Cutter will be neutral. You will hit super effective with the superpower, but it may be one of those where you need to like just come in, farm a ton, superpower once, and bail. Problem is Leaf Blade is going to be double resisted, so you can't really do much about that. The Power Whip is resisted too, so we can just let that go. I'm over farming a little bit here, not wanting to take a move. Nice catch by your opponent. Recognizing that that was probably coming. Trying to bank a move. They will get this move off. That is okay. Throwing the move before they get to the Chilling Water, because Chilling Water will, you're already very low, so you need to take this out. Ooh, I'm surprised they didn't get a move off there. Okay, Ferrothorn's still in here, and the Magargo, and yeah, you have to throw this immediately because you do not want that Incinerate to register. Superpower will be super effective and take out. And they are low enough that you can just shield a move and get to a move because of the spam, right? This thing spams at 9s and 10s. So, a great Pokemon to use, really fun Pokemon to use. Have used it multiple times, and it really does put in some work in any sort of like neutral matchup. It feels like Malamar at times. Like it just like Malamar is gonna like chip you a ton, but then have problems with other Pokemon and stuff like that, and then not like a top meta one. So I kind of put Lurantis as way lower ranked, but kind of feels like that at times. Okay, so we have a your fast move timing needs some work, especially with after them throwing and then you just throwing the charge move. And now they're gonna get to a charge move here. I think you just let this go and come Lurantis and super effective Fury Cutter down while getting was that an undercharge? While just taking resisted moves here. So unfortunately for you, not surprising they have an answer in the back. Wigglytuff is going to be very annoying. You know, they're just going to, if they were smart, they just double shield their Wiggly. Yeah. Double shield the Wiggly. Icy Wind you to lower your attack. Out Charm you. I think there's 2. This will be an Icy Wind. You have no choice. You need to like, you may want to like, I know you need to try and catch, and you're trying, but you just can't get there. Now you're 2 times. Now you have to reset, but they would expect that too. You do have a Leaf Blade, which is nice. But I think they can just commit to the Incinerate down and then win CMP against a Blastoise. Yeah, there's not too much you can do there. Yeah. Maybe your fast move timing in the front end of the first game cost, like you maybe have one switch, which could have been helpful. But speaking about switch, you need to get out of here into the Blastoise where Bullet Punch is resisted. Need to worry about the Trailblaze. They are now at a Trailblaze, but nicely taking those resisted moves, getting a charge move off, burning the timer, burning a shield. Cradily will eventually come in. That is okay because you can chip here. I think. How off are the timers? I think you were looking at what I was looking at too. I don't like this though. If you're gonna try and keep Blastoise alive, which I don't mind, yeah, you needed to bank that move. I don't mind keeping the Blastoise alive. I think that was actually the right play. I just think that when your switch timer was up, you immediately get out into Lurantis, so you don't have to burn the shield. You don't have to burn energy. and now they take you down, and then Blastoise doesn't have enough energy. Now they can just Night Slash you. So yeah, you really needed to get out quicker into Lurantis, bank that Blastoise energy, try and farm a bit. The switch timers wouldn't be as desynced as they were, so you maybe would have gotten to a superpower, and so you could have superpowered the Cradily, or you could have superpowered the Scizor, and it would have been a much different matchup here. You have to try and commit to the farm down here. Yeah, you got hit with move, but like you really didn't have a choice. Scizor might came in and just, yeah, they lowered your attack and just might force this energy here. That's what I would do too. Do take him out. It is an Empoleon in the back, and unfortunately, Metal Sound is also super effective against Cradily. So you had Scizor and Empoleon both with metal type fast moves, which is super effective against rock. Kind of puts you in a tricky situation from the start there. Okay. Hope it's Charm. It is not Charm. So kind of a weird matchup. I mean, better than seeing Lurantis, which is also weak, but at least not you're hitting super effective with your fast move as well. So super effective with the Acid, super effective with the Rock Tomb. They will out spam you, so they will get to their second charge move here before you get to your second charge move. So the question is, will you live it? Is it worth shielding to lower their attack for a second time? And opting to do that. I still think that if they want to, they could shield and get a third move off and still take you out and take switch. And that is looking like what they are going to do. So here comes the third move. Yeah, you're just going to get significantly outpaced to these weather balls here. So you do get taken out. Blastoise comes in. This is, okay, Lurantis. Okay, quicker. Because now you got to take a Stone Edge. And instead of like coming in quick and farming up, that you could have come out with like almost 2 moves. This is the problem. You're now dumping a move immediately to now have no energy for a Ninetales to come back in and try and farm you down. They don't, which is actually quite nice. And now because they came in with that, you will get to a move. Okay, it did work out in the ending. I still think you make that move quicker. But yeah, the Marowak, having a Marowak in the back helps. Talonflame, you will outpace to the move, throw right away. 14 versus 15 fast turns. They have to shield. Now it is a question. You can live the next one. So they're going to outpace you now because I've played this matchup in reverse multiple times, so I know. I think they could have outpaced you. Or do I always go for the extra Incinerate? Oh, I always go for the extra Incinerate. That's why. I always go for the Incinerate first and then shield and then Incinerate again. So I play that matchup a bit different. Anyways, sorry. Back to what's going on here. And it is a Cradily Lurantis taking the Rock Tomb. Grass Knot is neutral. Sorry, Leaf Blade is neutral. So I agree with throwing this one, even though Superpower is super effective. Leaf Blade's all you need. Trying to get to a Superpower, you know, they've already lowered your attack once and it's resisted on the flying, so it's probably not going to do a ton. But shielding anyways, whoa. I would come to Blastoise and shield up a charge move. And they get into their Gastrodon down shields when you still have the Cradily that has energy here. So this is a one-shot. Double super effective. They're going to commit to the farm down. I think as long as you don't get one turn lagged here. Oh, you have a move. Never mind. I was going to say, if you didn't get one turn lagged, you could have just rule out. I don't think they have any shields. I don't think so. But you could just commit it to the rollout as soon as you got in. Yeah, they had no shields. But if they did have a shield, I think the way you play that is just try to get that fast move rollout because the rollout would take out. Okay, Cradily versus, so good lead. And Rock Tomb here. Okay. So you had a good lead. And you need to ensure that you're winning this switch at all costs. The only concern is now you let them get too much energy. So now you're going to have to burn a shield. Hope, going for the superpower to try and take this out. Hope that they let this go because you really need to take switch here. And now if they don't, now they could commit to the 2 shields and flip switch and then put you in trouble. And this is why, like, you need to... Oh, they give up switch. What are they doing? What are they doing? You need to have one switch at all costs. I think they're just dumb for coming back in here and shielding. Like, this is your opponent's at... Not dumb. Inexperienced. I'm going to start calling dumb people inexperienced. Inexperienced with the right plays. Because if they could have flip switch here, you would have been in a lot of trouble, I think. Well, they do end up having just Cladle in the back, so you do have Blastoise or Cradily that can kind of deal with it. Having 2 moves here is also helpful. But like if they so what I was gonna say, you have 2 options. You either get out into Lurantis right away, or you stay with Cradily, but you Rock Tomb that. You take it to 50%, you lower its attack, and you guarantee that you will keep switch against the Dedenne there. Again, not that it matters because they gave up switch back, which is crazy. Obviously, you need to stay in this matchup. They will get to a Blast Burn pretty quick here, so, you know, could bait you. I think it's probably worth the shield, but they may bait. It is a bait, not that I know what the words are saying, but it is a bait. It feels like... Why did that one feel like it was going to be a bait? When you're against Cradily and you're against Dugong and you're against these Pokemon that can lower your attack, like, more often than not, they will want to shield up your first move to lower your attack first before taking a charge move. So it just felt like that was going to be the very obvious play there, that they were going to bait you knowing that you wanted to shield up a move, but you did not. So good heads up. That wasn't Wrap. I have no idea what move that was. It wasn't Wrap though. Do get off the second Grass Knot. You know, Dragon Breath is resisted. It's not an Ember, so it's neutral. Getting to the superpower. Both moves are... Actually, that was single resisted. So do take it out. And unfortunately for them, Magargo shields down versus a Blastoise is not going to be a good time for Magargo. Yeah, so superpower is single resisted on the flying, and Leaf Blade would be double resisted because it'd be resisted on the fire and resisted on the flying. Bad lead. Gotta go Blastoise. Hit with a Dunsparce. So this is not bad. I showcased this the other day as well, and I was surprised how much these draw runs did. I really thought Blastoise was bulky enough that these non-stab draw runs would not do as much. Getting to the Skull Bash, and they do not shield, so that is nice because now it means you will be able to live this and then take them out. But shielding up anyways. Getting to the Hydro, they do shield. I think you can live this, and you're giving up switch. You're giving up switch with a Scizor on the lead. Committing to the farm down. Okay, you're going to come out with a bunch of energy, but you just leave yourself a little vulnerable that they could align whatever's in the back on your Lurantis and then have Cradily, which can do super effective. Oh, frig. So they didn't align with whatever's in the back, and unfortunately you threw a... Jesus Christ. Oh, man. Heartbreaking. Okay. So they did not align in the back of your Lurantis. As you can see, it is a Gastrodon. So they came in with their Scizor. You threw sort of blindly a resisted Leaf Blade. Lucky that they shielded, and then as you went for the next superpower, they caught on the Gastrodon. So kind of hilarious series of events there. They will now be able to, I was going to say take you down, but good overfarm there, allowing you to get to a charge move here. I would instant swap if you can. You cannot. Gotta come Blastoise. Obviously, you do need to shield up any move, but you do have a shield, and they do not. So CMP here it looked like. So you will get this Hydro, and take this out. Another Scizor. I guess I should not be surprised. This is... Ooh, that's tough. Scizor to Dene combo, getting to the Parabol charge before you get to a charge move. I don't mind the shield, especially if it's CMP, because now you're going to outpace to the next one. It's 12 to the first, but only 9 to the second. And if they got right on 10, you will get to the charge move. You need to throw right away. So this is okay. I mean, it's not great, but chipping here will mean that you just put it in... Let this go. No. If you chip there, that would put it into acid range. And if you put it into acid range, it would allow you to come, like, get to a Rock Tomb. So that the Scizor comes in, you could have got a Rock Tomb. Do grab a last shield. They do eventually come Scizor. You have that superpower. It is neutral. Non-stab. It's only like an 85 damage move, so I assume this will live. It does live. They're going to get to a Night Slash. You did lower your defense there, so this should take out from a Shadow Scizor. 1 HP left. Blastoise, roll out down. How much energy did they have? The answer is enough. But, you know, you still got Cradily left. Acid is super effective. Play Rough would be neutral. The Parabol charge is resisted. What's in the back? Their own Cradily. Start Rock Tombing. Oh, it's a Bulletsy Cradily, which means it's gonna outpace you, and they've already chipped you. And yeah, the problem with this Cradily matchup is 2 does not take out. But because they chipped you, 2 will take you out. So despite lowering their attack multiple times, still won't matter. They will be able to take you out here. So that extra chip that really helped this matchup here. So down goes the Cradily. So yeah, thanks for the submission. A couple things. I think, yeah, Cradily Blastoise, strong core. I think that for the most part you played out the matchups more or less like you should. You know, you leave Cradily lead. You leave Scizor lead into Blastoise. I think some of the fast move timing is off. Like, pretty much, if your opponent, the biggest thing I saw with your fast move timing is if your opponent gets a charge move, you're basically resetting your fast moves at 0. So if you throw your charge move right away, which you seem to do a couple times, you are letting them get a full fast move, whatever it is. So if it's a 2-turn, 3-turn, 4-turn fast move, if you're throwing your charge move right away, you're letting them get that full one. And when you have a 1-turn fast move in like Lurantis, and even a 2-turn in Cradily, it's pretty easy to time those fast moves. So just don't throw right away so you don't give them the extra energy. Yeah, some win con stuff I would probably play different, but I don't think you were like... You didn't give me a heart-pounding, blood-boiling moment like other people do. So congratulations. That's great. Anyways, that is it. Thanks for submitting. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next one.